The Oracle Report for Thursday, October 31st, 2019. We have a freestyle report today. Today, Mercury stations retrograde. So we know the day that a planet stations retrograde or direct can be a little bit hectic, a little bit frustrating. With Mercury, this involves communications, telecommunications, electronics, and travel plans. So the key today is to have patience. And so if you find yourself having to redo things, this is my fourth time trying to record this morning, have patience and just persevere with it. Overall, the energetic of the Mercury retrograde is about breaking illusions and putting things in the proper order. This is due to Mercury stationing retrograde at 28 Scorpio, which is the Sabian symbol, the king of the fairies, approaches his domain. So this is about homecoming and all things related to home. This will be in effect until November 20th. So if you can hold off buying electronics until after the 20th, actually you want to try to hold off a little bit after the 20th to get out of the shadow of the retrograde. You might want to do that. Generally, if we buy an electronic item during a Mercury retrograde, we end up having to replace it during a future Mercury retrograde. So this is more of a big deal when you're talking about like big ticket items like phones or computers, things like that. Venus is still conjunct Mercury. Venus is at 29 Scorpio, an Indian woman pleading to the chief for the lives of her children. So you may find today that you have to take a stand for what's right, or you may have to stand up for someone else. This is also about accepting responsibility for our personal shortcomings. Now, there is an element at the lower octave of self-rejection, punishment, self-punishments, self-judgment, and self-sacrifice. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. So that element is in effect today. So if you find yourself in the loop of those types of thoughts, remember that our thoughts are undergoing revision with Mercury retrograde, Mercury redoing how we think, and it's more important to accept personal responsibility and move forward and do better. If you feel like you are judging yourself, look at what that judgment is. Is it valid? Are you being too harsh? And how can you remedy it? Today is all about remedying and fixing. Also, the sun is discharging 9 Scorpio, a dentist at work. This is all about repairing damage and revising the structure or the form or the schedule, the timing of things. We want to make sure that we are using and listening to our intuition and our best judgment. Don't go against your best judgment on something today. And take care of anything that you've neglected or that has built up and needs to be addressed. The Earth is at 9 Taurus, a Christmas tree decorated. I love this one. This is about spreading joy and a creative expression and expressions of spirituality. It's about wonderment. So if you can find a little bit of wonderment and curiosity in your day today, you may be more grounded. Creative expressions. Let's see. And Mars. Mars is at 2 men placed under arrest. So we tend to be critical of others. We can be self-sabotaging or staying in something when the signs say to move on. We want to wait until all the information comes to light before being critical or placing judgment, and stop or prevent something before too much harm is done. So 2 men placed under arrest is again about rectification and making a change, stopping something that was wrong. But it's also about holding judgment until the proper time. The moon is in Sagittarius until 10:38 p.m. Eastern Time today, when it will move into Capricorn, and the moon will conjunct Jupiter at 10:28 a.m. Eastern Time. So this means that we have an expansive day. All of the themes that I've just discussed will be amplified with the moon conjunct Jupiter. Now, since it is a Mercury retrograde, we want to be very careful when we're traveling and driving, and don't drift off in your mind. You want to pay attention to what's going on around you and double check that you've turned off appliances, because accidents are more likely to happen on a Mercury retrograde. And also, we begin the crescent moon phase today. All right, I hope you have a very nice Halloween. I think it's time for us to take Halloween back and make it about kids and having fun, and that element of changing identities or putting on a costume for fun and taking away all the negative satanic elements that are about Halloween. We can do it differently. We can have fun with it without emphasizing all of the spooky negative stuff about it. We can try anyway, right? Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.